Start dropping threes like trilogies, like companies, like BIGs. Got the summer on lock. BIG3 on Fox.
Great night of basketball so far here from Little Caesars Arena as the best 3-on-3 basketball you will possibly see continues to go at the Big 3. 2 games are already in the books. We got Trilogy and Three's Company as winners tonight. 2 more games remain to be played, including our marquee matchup, a battle of unbeatens between Three-Headed Monsters and Tri-State. Of course, Three-Headed Monsters last year's runners-up, but a lot of people are saying that this year could be Gary Payton's year to get it done and get over that hump. And as Ice Cube explains it, only he can explain it. But Three-Headed Monsters so far, they have been true to the game.
Last year, they were close.
Lewis pulls up, knocks it down.
Letting the early lead slip away.
After being down by 11, Trilogy responds on a 20-8 run.
Tie basketball game. Now this is where we buckle down.
Step back 16-footer for the win, and it's over. They win the Big 3 championship game.
That loss only fueled them to retool and recharge as true contenders for the title.
I like the pieces that we got this year. You know, it's just a matter of just continuing to work hard, stay positive, and just be real unselfish. That's why we're here. We want to win, man. Everybody on the team want to win, from the players to the coaches. Anything less, we wouldn't be successful.
Yeah, the Three-Headed Monsters, they are hungry, they want it, they are motivated, but remember, they got to do it without last year's MVP, Rashard Lewis, who is out for the season after hurting his Achilles last week. Don't forget, next week, they are in South Beach. How come I'm not going to South Beach? I'm not hosting next week. I'm upset about that. But next Friday on FS1 is still going to be great as the Big 3 is live from Miami. You don't want to miss it. Catch it live on FS1 at 8 p.m. Eastern, but stream it live on the Fox Sports app. We can be seen all over. Big 3 is global. Tonight's telecast is being seen internationally in over 30 countries, spanning Africa, Asia, Australia, Europe, Latin America, and Turkey. I was speaking every one of those languages right now, but well, we don't have enough time. My producer, Franz, is basically saying no. We got the Three-Headed Monsters coming up next. Gary Payton's crew, battle of unbeaten. Tri-State should be a good one right here on FS1.
Man, you know, after playing 18 years in the league and, you know, and playing another, 4 years in high school, it seemed like I've been playing it all my life, and to be able to get back on the court with some of my peers that I played against, I've watched for so many years, and, being in the locker rooms again, smelling the arenas, the popcorn, feeling that, that vibe from the fans is something that you don't ever get used to. It makes your blood just rush so quickly that it's just a sense of excitement. I really enjoy being back into it. I think one thing I like the most is this different challenge. One of the biggest things that caught me off guard was the physicality of it. That was kind of different than what we're used to. It's something that you got to adjust to, but I think guys really like it.
Jermaine O'Neal, of course, one of the Tri-State stars. He can do it all over the court, but you know what? Even Jermaine O'Neal doesn't have access on the court like our very own Michael Rappaport. If you haven't heard, he's got unprecedented access. Let's take it out to my man.
Unprecedented access to all the players, every single person in this building. I could talk to anybody I want, including the guy who we just did a beautiful feature on, except for he is not on the court right now. Jermaine O'Neal is what we call MIA. Now, next week we're in Miami, which is also called MIA. Jermaine O'Neal, we just did a gorgeous feature on there. You looked lean, you looked mean. The guy came into the league when he was 17. Maybe he doesn't want to talk to me. I'm gonna grab somebody else. You know what? Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Your shooting has been talked about. You're killing it every week. How much work do you put in each week during the season?
I don't know how many minutes or hours, but I put a lot of work in.
Are you having a ball, my friend?
I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it.
You're killing it. Last week it was like LSU flashbacks. Did you ever think Shaquille was on the court, young Shaq?
Do I have a what?
Last week you had a flashback. Did it feel like young Shaq was out there on the court with you?
No, young Mahmoud.
You look fantastic. Mike.
49 years old, getting it done. 14 straight points in the big win last week. Tri-State three-headed monsters. Battle of the lone undefeateds next, right here on FS1 because Jim Jackson with the call.
Welcome back to Motown. It is the marquee matchup of the night. The battle of unbeaten. Three-headed monsters, 3-0. Tri-State, 3-0. Somebody's O has to go as we take a look at the standings. Tri-State, three-headed monsters, the only unbeaten squad right now in the Big Three. Three's Company got a victory. They're at 3-1. Power, they will be playing next. They're at 2-1. Jim Jackson alongside Brian Custer here. This is what you've been waiting for. I mean, you look at Tri-State, they've got it all. They got it inside, they got it outside. Amari Stoudemire. How about David Hawkins, Nate Robinson, and then the three-headed monsters. They got height, and they got Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who's been fantastic.
He's been great because he's shooting the ball with precision, accuracy, and depth. That means now you have to come out and guard him. But what's going to be interesting to see the new roles. Now that Rashard Lewis is out, you have Quintel Woods, who's going to kind of take his place in the post, shoot the basketball, but also Gary Payton wants to pound the ball inside when, you know, they have the advantage with Kwame Brown when he comes in. Doesn't think that Tri-State has the size inside to contend with that. So let's keep our eye on those two matchups.
Well, let's get right to the rosters for both of these squads. And you talk about both of these squads, they're led by Hall of Famers. Gary Payton leads the three-headed monsters. They were the winners up in the championship game last season. And GP says he believes he has the horses to get it done. And Tri-State, led by the doctor, Julius Dr. J. Irving. Nate Robinson now with the rock. He's had a couple of game winners. And inside they go to Amari Stoudemire.
All right, that's okay.
And they're going to call that an offensive foul on Stoudemire.
For real. Ralph, he up on the... Hey, my man. He's up on the matchup sir. Right now with Reggie Evans and Stat. Reggie wants to play physical. I don't think Stat should play that game. I think he should use his agility, his jump shooting, strong D, to use that against Reggie Evans instead of trying to battle with it, because Reggie Evans will win that battle, win that war every time.
Abdul-Rauf, first shot, no good. Here's David Hawkins, who's been fantastic for Tri-State. Stoudemire now, with one on his shot clock. Steps back. And that one will remain with Tri-State.
I'm going in. When you go up, I'm going in. Get you up. Go. Come on, Nate.
Lane O'Neal, inactive for Tri-State. Here's Nate Robinson. He draws the foul on Abdul-Rauf.
How about that matchup? Quickness and Nate Robinson against savviness of Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
So here's Nate Robinson. Free throws out. Abdul-Rauf, the drive, and puts in the first 2 points of the game. David Hawkins. Step back from three, yes!
All right, let's play some defense.
David Hawkins, averaging 19. Had a team high 18 last week, team high 20 the week before. Here's Reggie Evans, not his forte. Stoudemire clears it. And here's the Hawk. He was looking to get it to Stoudemire, he throws it away.
Well, that time he got caught in between. He wanted to shoot. Quintel Woods went up to contest. Thought Stat was going to step up a little bit more, but sometimes stay under control, stay on the ground. Retain that possession and don't turn it over. Let's see if three-headed monsters can take advantage of it.
Here's Reggie Evans. Good dish by Abdul-Rauf.
Well, not only the dish, this is another thing that Gary Payton talked about. They want to run a lot of pick and roll, especially in the middle of the court. They want to force Nate Robinson to have to play defense. And that time, like we saw earlier with Baron Davis, the patience of Mahmoud freed up Reggie Evans for that layup.
Stoudemire faces up, misses the jumper. 1-point lead for the three-headed monsters. Both of these squads unbeaten. Mahmoud, the pull-up, gets the roll. And pass off the hand of Stoudemire. Wasn't ready for it.
A couple of miscommunications here. See Dr. J, stoic by Tri-State. You know, turning the ball over is one thing. You want to be able to get shots.
Here's Hawkins. Drops to Mari Stoudemire, who rocks the rim.
I love it. Again, that pocket pass and Hawk, because he's been scoring so much, he turned the corner. Now you had to help a little bit by Evans. See a deflection here, and beautiful pass and finish to stat inside.
Good defense by Hawkins.
So when you're a threat to score, you attract attention. Then all you got to do is make a play. Do I have a shot? Nope. I see you, Reggie. You peeking. You jumped up too much, and now I'm going to make you pay for it.
Hawkins lays it in. For folks who don't know, Hawkins is from D.C., played professionally in Europe, won titles in Italy and Turkey. He has been phenomenal here in the Big Three. And right now, his Tri-State squad has a 1-point lead over the three-headed monsters. It's the Big Three here on FS1. Battle of unbeatens here in Detroit. Tri-State, three-headed monsters, 1-point lead for Tri-State. As we are away, look at Gary Payton in the huddle of the three-headed monsters.
Animated, but he's upset because yesterday in practice, they talked about how they wanted to guard defensively. And you're talking about a former defensive player of the year, a guy that took pride in playing D. So when his team is not responding in the way that he feels is necessary, especially when you just worked on it, he's going to let them know in a direct way, but I think his teams understand that, why he's doing it.
Reggie Evans follows that one up. Gary Payton was the only point guard to be named the NBA Defensive Player of the Year. Defense is his forte, and his three-headed monsters a 1-point lead now. Another great dish to Amari Stoudemire. Oh, my.
And I got flashbacks as I remember that Amari when I played with him at Phoenix. As soon as you would help, Steve Nash would just drop it off. It'd be an alley-oop or it'd be a finish like that inside the stat. It's good to see him back doing his thing again.
Reggie Evans knocks down the jumper. Nate misses. Inside to Quintel Woods.
Some things just don't get old, my man. And this is one of them. Stat getting to the basket. Throwing it down with some authority. How about the playmaking ability that time of Nate Robinson? Tracking the D and then dropping it off.
Salim Stoudemire. Check in for the three-headed monster, seeing his first piece of action. And here's Quintel Woods. This is the man Gary Payton says, I got to lean on him, especially with Rashard Lewis out for the season. There's Reggie Evans. Man, and he cleans the boards and lays it right back up and in.
Do what you do best, which is play defense. You pound the offensive defensive glass. You make yourself a valuable asset. That time, I think Amari just fell asleep on Reggie Evans to be able to get in there and get that offensive rebound.
There's Boots from Uncle Drew.
Yeah, keep going, Nate.
Nate Robinson. 1-point lead for the three-headed monster. Stoudemire, too strong. Hawkins clears the board.
Over there. ISO.
Hawkins lays it in. Man, he is just a ball player.
And how about taking the initial contact from Quintel Woods, but it really didn't move him off balance. He could have easily been pushed out the lane, but that big body didn't let him, and Quintel Woods responds with a three-pointer himself.
2-point lead. Three-headed monsters. And Boots is getting warm. He's even said that. He said, guys don't even call me Nate anymore. They just call me Boots.
Hey, listen, that's what happened when you go Hollywood, baby. That's what happened.
Quintel Woods missed it.
Knockdown.
Nate the Great.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, sir.
No, you can't call him Nate.
Do we stay with Boots?
Stay with Boots. From now on.
Stoudemire. In and out. 6-0 run.
And great box out that time by Amari Stoudemire. Boots.
He will go to the line.
You know, some guys are just fun to watch. Here's Quintel Woods on the drive. Misses. Outside, Nate able to gather himself and get set. I tell you, he's brought this energy with him that is unmatched. I don't know what it is. Allen Iverson last year had something, I think, because of the aura. But the respect that people have to see Lil Nate because of the slam dunk contest and everything is incredible, man.
He just took a hit to the eye.
You all right, man? You all right? Nothing intentional right here. Salim kind of pushes off. Got a little high. I guarantee you shoot it, though.
That shot blocked. And, hey, Bonzi Wells puts it in. Welcome back, Bonzi Wells, who's been out all season and getting his first action this season.
And Bonzi last year had a little bit of a scare over the summer with blood clots. So I'm so glad to see Bonzi's able to get back on the court. Another one of my rookies when he was at Portland.
Hey, they got no help for that. They got no help with the Nate.
6-point lead for Dr. J's Tri-State squad as they look to remain unbeaten. They're on an 8-0 run.
You all right, man?
Let's go on the court to Michael Rappaport.
All right, I have unprecedented access, okay, to another person who probably doesn't want to be talking to me right now. Hall of Famer Gary Payton, as you can see, he's right over my shoulder, doing what he does best besides play basketball. Talk, 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 talk. Now listen, Gary, very important question. You're very animated, you're very hyped up. Why?
Because we're not playing well. I mean, my team is now lackadaisical, turn the ball over, not playing defense, no switches or nothing. They're not playing well.
All right, now last week, apparently you had a barbecue at your house. Everyone was invited except for me. Why?
Because you rapping part.
All right, Jackson. Jackson, this is not cool. Everybody in the league was invited except for me. I heard they had great food. It was catered.
I didn't get invited. That's my boy. So don't feel bad. Me and you.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, he just cut straight to the point because you're Michael Rappaport.
Yeah.
Stoudemire, 10-footer, yes. 4-point lead now for Tri-State.
Yeah, much needed basket, but more importantly, they need the defensive stops. That's something, again, Gary talked about.
Stoudemire guarding Robinson. And he will pull up from deep. And Boots is red hot.
Look, on the basket. Yo, get back.
They're going to take another look to see just how deep. Was it a 4-pointer or was it a 3?
Well, again, keep in mind, you don't have to be completely in the circle.
If it's a 4, it's half.
Your foot has to be at least touching part of the circle, and it gets called as a 4-point shot. So that's what the officials are reviewing right here. And let's see steps right here.
At that point, he's still in it. That would be a 4, and yes,
yeah,
that's a 4.
Yeah,
that's a 4.
That left foot right there.
We should be at the half then.
Is it raised or is it down on the ground a little bit? Right here, that left foot. See,
is on the
size
line.
up above it.
In the circle, it's on the line. I'm telling you, it's on the line.
It's right in front.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a close call.
That is close. 4, it's on the line. 4, he's on the line.
They're going to give him 4.
Oh,
They're going to give him 4. They're going to give him 4. Tri-State goes into the half up 8, 25-17. They have hit 6 of their last 8 shots. Thanks in part to Nate Robinson, who's already in double figures for Tri-State. They end the first half on a 12-2 run. And right now, Boots is with Michael Rappaport.
All right, I'm with Nate Robinson down here. Actor, ball player, you're doing your thing. How you feeling about Tri-State's chances to keep going?
I feel good about our chances. We got Jermaine O'Neal down. We got Bonzi Will stepping up. That's what teammates do. They got each other's back, and we're just trying to get every win we can.
What about this matchup with Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf? It's like speed versus age versus experience.
Well, he got the wisdom. So right now, I can't let a 49-year-old guy show me up. I know he used to get buckets back in the day. I was a fan of his. So for me, it's an honor. It's a treat for me to be able to go against such a legend. So I'm just trying to contain him and just try to make every shot hard as possible for him to make.
All right, keep going, Nick. Keep doing your thing, guys.
Appreciate it. Man, it's been a good first half, especially for Tri-State. They've got an 8-point lead. Stoudemire, he has been phenomenal. He's got 4. Tri-State trying to remain unbeaten. Big 3 on FS1.
Back to the D. They've done an amazing job revitalizing the city. It's beautiful out there. Right now, Tri-State looking beautiful in the first half. 25-17 in and a half on a 12-2 run. Hey, don't forget to catch baseball's biggest stars for an unforgettable show from the nation's capital. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game, Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox, and stream it live on the Fox Sports app. I'm Mike Hill. We are at the half, Little Caesars Arena. Chauncey Billups right behind me. Of course, Detroit Pistons right here. Tri-State getting the job done in the first half, thanks in part to Nate Robinson, who's been incredible, or as they call him in Uncle Drew, Boots. And he is kicking there. Well, I'm not going to say that. Nate Robinson making it happen from all over the court. 2 threes and even hit that big 4 to end the half to give Tri-State the big 8-point lead at the half in this big battle of undefeated teams. Nate Robinson, very fiery, always ready to go. As you can see, 12 points for Nate on the night on 4 of 6 shooting. He's also dished out 2 assists. As you see, Reggie Evans leading the way for the three-handed monsters. He's got 8 points on 4 or 5 shooting. Hey guys, Tri-State might be the best team I've seen all season. Highly competitive, and they've been consistent all year long.
Yeah, I tell you what, thanks to Boots or Nate Robinson, who scored 12 of their last 14 points. They certainly have been the model of consistency through 4 weeks of the Big 3.
Well, it gives you so much energy. He forces you to guard, but he makes plays for his teammates, and I think it's opened it up for David Hawkins to quietly be that needed scorer opposite of Nate Robinson, because now you can't help on him, and that big body gets inside of David Hawkins. They're both going to make you pay.
8-point lead for Tri-State. They're led by the Hall of Famer, Dr. J, and we've got the doctor mic'd up. Hey, Doc, it's Brian, it's Jim. You got an 8-point lead here going into the second half. What has impressed you more? Is it the play of Nate, or is it the play of David Hawkins thus far? All right. We'll get Doc mic'd up so he can hear us.
Mike, Doc is focused right now.
Oh man, he's got his team rolling as well.
I would love to hear his thought process of how, we can get him online. The difference is this year, what makes Nate so special, why the team has responded with him on the court and him on the team. You know what I mean? The energy is totally different. That's not taking anything from Mike James, who played on Tri-State last year.
All right, so work it, okay? You know.
Seven lead changes.
Go ahead.
12 of the last 14. Was made by Nate Robinson.
Say something.
Got you. Can you hear us, Doc?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Oh, there he is.
I got you. I hear you.
Hey, Doc, we wanted to ask you, this year with Nate Robinson, what's the difference with having Nate on the team now as opposed to not having him last year?
Well, Nate's clear energy guy, much better offensively than I ever thought he was. We had Mike James last year, but Nate brings the scoring that Mike gave us last year and playmaking. And I think he likes to play make.
Right, there you go, right there, simple. You see it right there. Stoudemire misses that dunk.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about your team is David Hawkins. This is a guy, it seems like every week is putting up 20. And I remember when he got the start week 1, I said, so many people were surprised by your output. And he said, listen, when Dr. J came up to me and said, I'm going to start you, and there's a reason why I drafted you, he said that was all the confidence I needed.
No, he is supremely confident. And he gets a quiet 20 every game, you know, not playing selfishly, playing unselfishly. And then he brings other things to the table, too, because he rebounds, he's getting there on the steals, defensively. You know, he's making the other team play harder. So we're not taking anything for granted in this, but, you know, he's our best guy.
Doc, we'll let you go back to coaching. We'll end it with this. Do you think you've got the championship team here in Tri-State?
Well, with Jermaine with this team, then, you know, these guys were rated ahead of us. They were rated 1, we were rated 2, so we still got to knock them off.
Love it. Hey, Doc, I see you got your lucky shoes on again.
Yeah, I got them on.
Clean, baby. Pinning to the board of health.
Julius Irving, head coach of Tri-State. Oh, them is
what?
Mean.
They're smooth.
What is that?
They're smooth.
These guys?
They're smooth, baby.
Here's Nate. The reach in by Quintel Woods.
And Quintel Woods got away with a foul right there. There's a lot of contact, and the baseline official wasn't able to call it. He called a tech on Nate.
Technical on Nate. He's fiery.
I deserve that, but that's a foul.
Especially if that first foul on me was one.
So here's Mahmoud. He'll shoot the technical.
Well, let's take a look right here. It gets past Mahmoud and then reaches in. The hand was on the ball, but it was a foul on the reach cross. And the official that time was in the perfect angle to call it, but he didn't. And let's see if that free throw right there kind of gets Mahmoud kind of going. And sometimes for shooters, as you know, Brian, if the shot is not going all the way, he's 3 for 6, which is good, but free throws tend to help you out a little bit.
And look at Mahmoud and Nate. Is this one starting to get physical here? Again, these are 2 of the unbeaten squad, the only 2 unbeaten right now in the Big 3.
Yeah, there you go.
And Nate draws another one.
Good call.
On the side. What's that shape?
You can see Nate bleeding to the camera saying, listen, you guys think I was shooting? Here's David Hawkins. Drop off. Stoudemire.
Good play, David. Good play, David.
Well, again, Hawk able to turn the corner, and Reggie Evans had no choice to help, and Quintel Woods was late on his drop down on that rotation, and Stat able to get inside, but see if Stat can take advantage of the foul by getting to the free throw line and converting it.
Stoudemire. Shoot 1 for 2. Got it. 6-point lead.
The beautiful thing about playing with Stat is that in late game situations, he's a very good free throw shooter. So he played so aggressive, was able to get to the line. Then you see that beautiful stroke he was able to get there, make teams pay for, i.e. putting us in the penalty or fouling him when he got possessions down low.
Here's Reggie Evans now. Evans, 13 seasons in the NBA. He knocks down the free throw for 2 points. He averages a double-double here in the Big 3. He's got 10 right now. Nate spin. What a disc on Murray Stoudemire. Nate the Great showing off.
Over. Hey.
Mahmoud. That one rolls off.
But even when he misses, it's soft. That's when you know you're a shooter. It comes off soft, but right there, Quintel Woods late, but how about Nate? Spin cycle, inside, Stat. Give me that. Come on back. Oh, Reggie, you jumped down a little bit too far, and Stat, from playing with Steve Nash, puts his head right to the basket, understands where to go. And Nate, again, thank you. Thank you.
movie star, you, Nate Robinson. Oh, misses. Here's Mahmoud. Yes. All he needs is space.
You know we in Detroit, right? Well, Leah, age ain't nothing but a number, baby. You know what I mean? Mahmoud is showing us that.
Yep, 8-2 run. Three-headed monster. Hawkins. He tried to deliver one to Amari Stoudemire cutting baseline, and oh, that would have been something.
Yeah, and I think Stat thought that he was going to shoot because his eyes were kind of up, looking up, getting prepared for maybe a rebound.
Hey, come on, bro.
Nate hitting the ground.
Let's see if Mahmoud starts to get warm now. He scored 14 straight to lead the three-headed Monsters to victory last week. There's the dish to Reggie Evans. He lays it in.
But see, Nate can't bail him out. That time he was trying to go for the steal from behind, and that left a 2-on-1 with Mahmoud and Reggie Evans against Stat. And now you get an easy basket. You got to play solid defense and don't bail your opponent out.
2 unbeatens, 2-point lead. Oh, you don't want to miss this ending of this one.
All right, I'm with Amari Stoudemire. In your rookie year, I ran into you All-Star break. You said these guys in this league are soft, talking about the NBA. What about the Big Three? Is the Big Three soft? What's going on out there for you?
Oh, no, it's not soft here, man. It's a physical game, but it's fun. You know, it's a great atmosphere. We're enjoying it out here.
You seem so calm, cool, and collective, man. It's feel like you've grown up since I met you when you were a kid, man.
I was 18 when we first met, Mike, you know, so now I'm 35, man. Things have changed.
All right, well, have a great game, Amari. Get out there and do your thing. I love that dude, man. That's a true story. I met him when he was 18, rookie season, and I said, yo, you're doing your thing. He said, yo, these MFers, man.
All right, 8 points for Amari Stoudemire. In fact, he says he still wants to get back into the NBA. Enjoying his time here in the Big Three. Robert Height checks back in. So does Bonzi Wells, and he's fouled by Kwame Brown.
Yeah, that time Kwame a little bit late in Bonzi.
And he did not like it.
No, no. And Bonzi really just getting back active. And
this is a look from Ref Cam. Oh, he poked him right in the eye. You can see that. Tri-State should be in the bonus with that personal.
Oh, we're in the bonus. We're in the bonus. We're in the bonus. A lot of driving. Make a foul you.
As physical as that play was, when Bonzi got back to the free throw line, he and Kwame kind of dapped each other up. They know he understands that it wasn't no purpose.
Good offensive rebound by Stoudemire.
Look at the hustle that time by Reggie Evans, though.
Reggie working on Height. Lost it. Bonzi. Look to Robert Height.
But how about the pass in close quarters? That time able to shuffle it to him to get it inside, and Height being active but aware that the pass was coming.
4-point lead. Mahmoud, the three. No. Bonzi. And here's Height. Getting left hand.
How about that box out right there by Reggie Evans? Look for a little pick and roll here with Mahmoud.
Big lineup for the three-headed Monsters.
Can't go under. Can't go under. Can't go under.
Missed it, but he'll get another look. You don't give him two. You do not give him two. He's got 12. 2-point lead for Tri-State. Both teams unbeaten. First team to 50. Win by 2. Stoudemire. And they're going to call a block on Kwame Brown.
Doesn't this game have the eerie feeling of the one last week where kind of three-headed monsters and Mahmoud just kind of just hung around, then they went on that spurt at the end. It has that kind of feel right now where Tri-State can't create any separation, and right here Kwame just leans up with his body and doesn't get himself in position to get that charge.
Brown lost his shoe too. Who was the most physical guy you think you played with?
That I played with?
Played against?
Oh, man, back in the day, bro. I mean, I remember playing my first game, not my first game, but playing against a guy named Ricky Pierce.
Ricky Pierce.
Old school two-guard who was playing for Seattle at the time. I mean, but he was like a brick house, okay? Really physical two-guard that knew how to use his body. At that time, he wasn't as athletic as he was when he was younger, but the mind and how he used his position, I was like, oh, God, I got to get strong. I was pretty strong at the time, too.
It's Stoudemire. That's a grown man move there.
But he used his quickness that time. He allowed Reggie Evans to try to push up and be physical. And as soon as Reggie pushed up, that's what Seth took that escape dribble right to the middle for a nice little jump hook.
Here's Mahmoud. 5 on the shot clock. He's going to pull it. Yes! You hit it, Jim Jackson. He's getting warm.
Yeah, but I just talked about escape dribble. That one right there was an escape dribble with Mahmoud clearing enough space, and Reggie Evans and Bonzi jawing back and forth. Two physical players.
Well, in the big three, you got to bring your name and your game.
But Reggie Evans will, you know, play that mind game to force you to try to play physical with him.
It's Bonzi Wells. And Bonzi Wells has come off the bench and given this team a spark.
That way. Make him go that way. Make him go that way. Switch. Hands up,
4-point lead for Tri-State.
Hands up.
Evans with 3 inside the Kwame Brown, and Robert Height grabs it.
Well, how about the recognition? Mahmoud really wanted that pick and roll to come, but didn't happen. Reggie Evans smartly saw that Kwame got inside position on Height inside, and Robert couldn't do anything about it. But how about Kwame Brown also positioning himself in the middle of the lane to receive the pass?
Here's Kwame Brown. Didn't play last week. It's been 12 years in the league. You might remember when Michael Jordan was the GM of the Washington Wizards. Drafted. Kwame Brown is the #1 pick in the 2001 NBA draft. He's one of those guys who, right-handed guy, but shoots free throws left-handed. Here's David Hawkins. Step back 3. Mahmoud. Down 4. The kick to Quintel Woods. Big 3 by Q Woods. 1-point lead for Tri-State.
Here Quintel hustling around the court.
Height misses. Hawkins, ball fake. He'll go to the line.
On the last basket, little two-man action. That'll help. And that time, David Hawkins anticipating maybe someone getting to the lane, gave too much room to Quintel Woods, couldn't close down in time, and gave up that three-point shot. But that was an excellent two-man game on the strong side of the court that opened up that basket for Woods.
Hawkins has got 9 points. The average is 19. That one rolls in. He's now got 11. Keep in mind, first team to 50. The winner, you got to win by 2.
Take him, Hawk. Take him, Hawk.
Hawkins, the drive. David Hawkins has scored 4 straight.
And I like the decision, B. That was a quick isolation on the wing before the defense on the help side, on the weak side could react.
Hawkins now has 13, 6-0 runs for Tri-State.
Damn. That's all Reggie does.
Reggie Evans will go to the line now.
All right, good foul by
shooting
Stat.
2.
Good foul. You want to put Evans to the free throw line rather than give up and lay up inside, see if he converts.
Grab it!
And he can't convert. You don't want to leave that man open. That one's short.
I got him.
Two-man game. Woods, Evans.
You got to get the ball above his head and get it to his shoulders or something.
That was on Stoudemire, and Evans back at the line. 5-point lead for Tri-State. 14 foul. Mahmoud will get a blow. In comes Salim Stoudemire.
And I like that substitution right now, knowing that you're going to need Mahmoud down the stretch of the game. Give him a quick little breather. You know, you're only down 3 points.
All right, we got him in the penalty.
He's going to have to make some big plays, not just shots, but he's going to have to make some big plays for three-headed monsters if they want to come out of this game with a W.
Ball knocked away from Robert Height. Let's go to Michael Rappaport.
All right, I have unprecedented accents. I'm on the bench. I'm actually on the bench with Bonzi Wells at Tri-State. Bonzi, you took a blow to the face. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. You know, this is what it is. You know, it's a physical game. But, you know, you got to be able to play through this thing and still be able to perform. And I'm ready.
Now, what's going on out there with you and Reggie Evans? Are you guys friends? Is it all physical? You guys all seem like you're friends, but when you get out on the court, there's no friends.
There's no friends out here on the court. I hate Reggie Evans once we get between these lines, but he's the best guy in the world outside these lines. But on this line, between the lines, I hate him.
Are you getting back in this game, Bond?
I can't wait to get back in.
Keep going. Fellas, that's unprecedented access. I don't know how to spell it, nor do I know how to say it, but that is what it is, my friend.
Well, it's almost like us. Like, off air, we're great friends. But now when we are in between these lines, Mike, I don't like you.
Rockin' jockin' about 93, 94. I didn't like you then, I don't like you now, my friend.
But you respect me.
I respect you as a competitor.
All right, thank you.
Oh, my God. We got some competition on this one. Look at this. 1-point lead for Tri-State.
That stretches out the defense. That time, Robert Height forced Reggie to come out and guard him, and then Quintel Woods comes across, raking the arm of Stoudemire.
Stoudemire will go to the line, 1 for 2. Yes. Stoudemire in double digits. Nate Robinson will now check in. Tri-State will keep it because they're in the penalty. And here's Nate. Here's the quickness. Inside, Stoudemire. Nearly an and one.
I like that. Very aggressive.
Amari's got 12. Hawkins has got 13. Nate has got 12.
Well, you'd love to have a point guard that can make quick decisions. And that time, Nate Robinson recognized that the help came out a little bit further, and that on the weak side, David Hawkins' man kind of stayed close to him. That was an easy pass, and not stacked. It's in that free throw, not able to take advantage of it.
Shooter!
Here's Stoudemire. The drive, yes. 1-point lead for Tri-State. First team to 50. The winner. You have to win by 2. Both of these squads are unbeaten. Here's Hawkins. Takes the bump. Reggie Evans puts it right back up and in. Three-headed monsters take a 1-point lead. 8 lead changes here. We go back and forth. 2 best teams in the league right now. Nate drives through the trees.
How did he get in between? That's that old football stuff right there. He got it right in between the gap. Just watch him duck his head a little bit. The A gap open up. He's able to slide in right there. Still looking for a foul that he can't get.
Hawkins, 2 on the shot clock. The drive. There's a foul. Gary Payton was looking for an explanation. Hawkins has got 13. And another technical on Nate Robinson, his second. And so he's been ejected. It is our second ejection of the season.
Leave him alone, Nate. Leave him alone, Nate. Leave him alone. Leave him alone, Nate. What's that, tech?
So Nate Robinson with 12 points, complaining about calls, has been ejected from the game.
Well, that's huge, too, because, one, you take your best playmaker and second best scorer off the court. But I'm going to go back to this. Nate has to be smarter. You already have one. It's just like the NBA. You get 2 technical fouls, you go get kicked out. He got to be smarter than that. No matter what you think about the play or the foul or the non-call, that ejection hurts your team, obviously.
And the three-headed monsters are cleaning up at the free throw line. So here we go. They now have a 5-point lead. They're on an 8-0 run. And here's David Hawkins, who will now shoot 1 for 2 because he was originally fouled driving to the basket. Tri-State will keep it because they're in the penalty.
We got 20 seconds.
Here's David Hawkins. Stoudemire! Oh, my! One-point lead for the three-headed monsters. As Amari Stoudemire with the one-handed sledgehammer.
We got one.
Here's Quintel Woods. Yes! Three-headed monster. A basket away from victory and remaining unbeaten.
That's a big shot. Big shot by Quintel Woods. Hadn't played extremely well, but not afraid to take it when he had to.
Robert Height forces it up.
Move on. Yes, 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 yes.
Knowing when to duck in and receive it and keep your space, Amari, instead of inching in too early, Brian, he stayed wide. That forced Reggie Evans have to make a decision, which opened up the slot for him to grab and dunk.
Robert Height, huge three. We're tied up at 48. Gary Payton's going to call a timeout because next point wins it.
I'm sure right now with this great timeout, because this timeout for three-headed monsters allows Coach GP to get my move back in the game. And why that's important is because he can do so many things, but here's a replay. Hawk back between his leg steps. Robert Height able to catch. Salim Stoudemire late on the closeout. You got to be right there at the end of the game. You can't give up a three.
These are the only 2 unbeaten squads in the league. One of these teams going to walk away with their first loss, and we will have just one unbeaten. Tied up at 48. This has been all that it's been hyped and built up to be. And look, the bad boy of Detroit, Rick Mahorn, sitting courtside watching it all. His trilogy squad got their first victory tonight. 6 seasons he played here with the Pistons, won a championship in '89.
Two things here to look for. One, I'm sure it's going to be a pick and roll with Mahmoud going to his right. What Dr. J wants to do is make Mahmoud go to his left hand, push him away from his strong side. But again, keep in mind, as a right-hand shooter, you're more comfortable going to your left shooting if you got to turn the corner.
Here's Mahmoud. Had a game winner last week. Scored 14 straight. Dishes it to Quintel Woods, who dunks it home, and the three-headed monsters remain unbeaten. Wow. Point game. What a play by Gary Payton and the three-headed monsters, who are 4-0.
Well, because Mahmoud can make that shot off the dribble, again, you attract and you freeze the defense, Brian. That's what happened. And that time, Amari Stoudemire was stuck on the baseline with a decision to make. If I leave too early, if you see it right here, if I leave too early, Quintel Woods can dump it off to Reggie Evans. If I stay too late, now you have Quintel Woods down the middle of the lane. And that's the beauty about running the pick and roll in the middle of the court. It's so tough to stop. And when you have a smart point guard like Mahmoud, who makes the right play, and again, being the screener, the key is you set a screen, get a body, that frees yourself to get open. Classic.
Three-headed Monsters trail by 8 at the half. They win by 2. They're still unbeaten. Here's Michael Rappaport with their head coach.
I'm with the Hall of Famer Gary Payton. Tell me about the timeout and the play that came out of it.
Well, I knew I had to get McMoon back in the game. He's been doing really well for us for the last 3 weeks. I just had to get him in the pick and roll, and I told Quintel he wasn't playing well. I said, Quintel, if you get a good pick on him, roll. They're going to try to trap McMoon, and that's what they did, roll. Quintel got a dunk.
In your heyday, you were defense, defense, defense. Remind people about Mahmoud when he was young, when he was still Chris Jackson, how nasty he was.
He was good. You know, y'all think about this Stephen Curry stuff and all that. McMoon was the first one of them, man. He could play the game.
Okay, you guys are undefeated. How much fun is the Big Three? How much fun is it winning in the Big Three?
It's really fun, man. You know, last year I lost one in the championship. Now I'm trying to go back. I'm 4-0. I lost Rashard Lewis. I'm good. These guys came and played. They stayed with it, and I'm just having a lot of fun out here.
All right, well, Gary Payton, the Hall of Famer, congratulations. Guys, that's called unprecedented access, my friend, unprecedented access.
And the three-headed Monsters are still unbeaten. Mahmoud behind the back, and look at this dime. To Quintel Woods, who had 10 points, but boy, that was 2 of the biggest as the three-headed Monsters 4-0. 2-point victory over Tri-State. What a game. Three-headed Monsters, they're unbeaten. And we've got another one coming up. It's the Big Three here on FS1.